we have confirmation that we are getting a new patch coming out on October 26th, this Thursday. This is coming from Imix Twitter, and I'll put his Twitter in the description. Love this guy. He does things for Hearthstone. He's a great guy. So let's get into it. I'm going to be going off this Imgur because it's a little bit simpler. So the Jailer is getting unbanned, and it is going from 10 mana, Battlecry, destroy your deck for the rest of the game, and your minions are immune, to 10 mana, 10/10, Battlecry, destroy your deck, this minion is immune. This is a nerf specifically for Standard, but it does hurt Wild a little bit because of the Bolf combo is no longer doable for things like a Mill Druid, which kind of actually is significant, because that was a pretty good combo, like Bolf, Jailer, and Mill Druid for a while. So when Jailer does come back, it will only be him himself that is immune. That might still be playable in Mill Druid, genuinely, just because 10 mana, 10/10, unkillable for the rest of the game is still pretty good. So I would hold off on nerfing Jailer, or undusting Jailer if you are a Mill Druid player, but otherwise it's probably pretty safe to dust. Next is Tony, King of Piracy. Tony is getting nerfed again after his ban from Wild. He's getting unbanned, but he's getting nerfed from 5 mana, 4/6, both players' decks are swapped, finale, draw a card, to 7 mana, 4/6, Battle Cry, replace your deck with a copy of your opponent's, finale, draw a card. This is... How do I word this? This is actually an interesting change for Thief Rogue, specifically, because unlike Benedictus, it replaces your deck. So if you draw your entire deck, and then you'll copy and steal their deck, rather than adding their deck, right? This is, I still think that if you are, for some reason, not... Actually, I think unless you're considering playing Thief Rogue, you should disenchant Tony after these changes. It's a pretty terrible card, I'll be honest. Oops. Yogg. Yogg Saran Unleash. Getting hit. This is the best card in the game, bar none. It's played in like 60% of Wild decks. It's crazy, right? So Yogg is going from 15 mana, 7/5, with its Titan effects, and then cost 1 less for each spell you cast this game, to 9 mana, which is a buff, mana-wise, to Titan after you use an ability, cast 2 random spells. This means that Yogg is still playable in control decks, but he's not... You can't cheat him out in things like Miracle Rogue or Questline Druid. However, this is not a nerf for any Questline, Barnes, Yogg, Hunter enjoyers. This is a strict buff for that deck, which means I'm going to be playing that deck a lot more. I've already made a video on it. I'll probably make a new video once this change comes out. But if you did buy if you did buy the mini set for Yogg, please remember, if you have Diamond Yogg, you cannot refund it, because it is considered an extra thing that Blizzard doesn't justify giving you a refund for. I know it's kind of scummy, but it just happens to be that way. That's just how they do it. So don't be surprised if you can't get a refund on Yogg. Prison Breaker is going from 3 damage to 2 damage after you've cast 5 spells, 4/4, yada yada. This is a change specifically for Standard, because Prison Breaker isn't that great in Wild. It's a big hit to Miracle Rogue decks that have started running Prison Breaker, because it's just a lot of damage, but you don't have to worry about this card. Now it's completely unplayable in Wild, to be honest. I don't see this card making any difference. I do think that if you have this card, you probably should dust it, because it's not going to be playable after this. Embrace of Nature is going from 1 mana, draw, choose 1 card. Forge has both effects combined, to 2 mana, draw, choose 1 card. All that. Druid is absurdly broken in Standard. This nerf needed to happen. It's also broken in Wild, of course, but this nerf needed to happen. I do not think this card stops being good, though. This card's way too strong. It's just you have a little less flexibility while playing it, but getting double nourish value is absurd. So I don't think this card stops getting played. So I wouldn't dust it personally, but that's up to you. Rake. Rake is going from 1 to 2 mana. Again, I don't think that makes Rake a bad card. It needed to be slowed down. It was way too strong. all things considered, this could make you play Even Druid. Even Druid was a Theorycraft deck for a while, but you didn't have access to cards like Rake, which were incredibly powerful. But now that Rake is 2 mana, Even Druid could be a real thing. I wouldn't put money on it, don't get me wrong, but it is possible. Again, I would not disenchant Rake by any means if you do own it, unless you're, never considering playing Druid again. But Questline Druid is still good even without Yogg. It only got, 2 minor hits, and it's still going to be a very, very strong deck in the meta. That being said, if you enjoyed, make sure to like, comment, subscribe. Check out Imic on Twitter. That guy's great. And yeah, I'll catch you guys next time. Peace.